Students, this is in continuation of your last chapter, valuation of securities. I am continuing from where Vasanta ma'am has stopped. So far, you have learned the valuation of your preference shares, debentures, equity shares, etc. Redeemable, irredeemable, when dividends are declared, when dividends are constant, changing, all these you have learned. The next model which you need to learn is the single period valuation model. As you can see in the reference notes, the images of which were sent to you, the next concept is your single period valuation model. What is this single period valuation model? Where is this used? Girls, it is like this. Let's assume that you brought a share today, rupees 20, of Reliance Industries, and your intention is to keep it for 1 year and sell it later, nothing but after 1 year. So you brought share today with the intention to keep it for 1 year and sell it later, not more than 1 year, it is only for 1 year. So if you have an investment in equity share with intention like this, then it is your single period valuation model. In 1 year, the holding in your investment, what you would have earned from it, it is the dividend which will be declared by the company, and another thing is capital appreciation. Dividend is the money income which you earn from the company for the investment made in equity share. This is the returns which are given or declared by the company. And what is capital appreciation? Today you brought it for rupees 20. Maybe at the end of now, year one, the holding period, the value of the share in the market is around rupees 25. Then rupees 5 is what you have earned. This is your capital appreciation. Sometimes maybe you are losing also, that might also happen in reality, but in your cases, in most of the problems, you can find capital appreciation. So to find out what is the worth of this share today, nothing but today you are purchasing it for 20. Is it worth or not is what you need to find out. How will you find out the worth of share today, which is represented by V0 or P0, nothing but value of the share today or price of the share today. Few textbooks take it as V, few textbooks take it as P. There is nothing wrong in either of the terms you use. And how to find out this value of the share today? That depends on your future expectations. What are you expecting from the company? Now, as you all know, you are expecting dividend at the end of year 1. So D1 divided by, to find out the worth of it today, bring it to its present worth. What you should pay rupees 20 or not, what you need to find out. So D1 divided by 1 plus KE, the return what you are expecting from the company. When you are investing in the company, what is the return you are expecting? This is the expected rate of return, 1 plus KE. Along with that, what is the price you are expecting at the end of year 1 in the form of capital appreciation? Together of these, adding both these, bringing to the present worth, will tell you whether this 20 rupees is worth or not for the investment. And that is how single period valuation model is used to find out the present worth of an equity share. I hope you have followed the theory. In case of single period valuation model, you are buying today with the intention of selling the same share after 1 year, from which you are expecting dividend as well as capital appreciation. To find out the present worth of this share, which will be sold a year later, you are discounting the returns which you are expecting from that company in the form of dividend and in the form of capital appreciation with your expected rate of return. So it will tell you what is the worth of share today. Now look at the problem. X plans to buy an equity share, hold it for a year and then sell it. The expected dividend at the end of year 1 is rupees 7, which is your D1, and the expected sale price from the share at the end of year 1 is 200. Find PO, assuming PO is nothing but share price today or value of the share today, assuming that the required rate of return to the investor is 15%. So as you know, here the D1 which you are expecting is 7 rupees and your P1 is expected to be 200 and cost of equity is 15%. You need to find out the present worth, nothing but you need to discount this. How to do this? First we have discounted the dividend 7 rupees which will be received at the end of year 1 into present value factor at 15%, which is your discount rate, and this is for 1 year what you are doing. So therefore 1 divided by 1.15 is equal to 0.869. So which will be 7 into 0.869, which is, or here it is taken as 0.870 rounding off, nothing is wrong in that, small few decimals here and there is always okay. So 7 into 0.869 I am multiplying with the discount factor, which will be 6.086. So we got to know the dividend worth today. We need to similarly find out the share worth, which is rupees 200 into present value factor, which is at 15%, and for 1 year, as you already know, it is 0.869. So rupees 200 into 0.869 will be 173.8. Now you need to substitute these values to the formula. So value of the share today will be 6.086 plus 173.8, which is 179.886. So this is how you are trying to find out the worth of share price today, depending upon the future income expected at the end of year 1. Now let's move on to the next topic. See girls, the next problem goes like this. Y plans to purchase an equity share of a software company and he is holding it for how many years? It is for 2 years. So this will be your 2-period valuation model. So first we did single period valuation model. Now we are doing for 2-period valuation model. What is this 2-period? He is holding it for 2 years and then selling it, where dividend at the end of year 1 is 7, dividend at the end of year 2 is 7.50, and P2, that is price at the end of year 2 is 220, cost of equity is 15%. What is P0? So as you know, if that was your single period valuation model, it would have been D1 divided by 1 plus KE. And again, this is your 2-period valuation model. So here it will be you are receiving dividend at the end of year 2 also, whatever is the discounting factor, and at the end of year 2 you are selling it, this investment. So this is how we find out the worth of the share when we hold it for 2 years. And imagine this is multi-period holding. That means more than 2 years, 3 years you want to hold. The formula continues in the similar fashion. D1 divided by 1 plus KE plus D2 divided by 1 plus KE plus D3 divided by 1 plus KE, till wherever you are holding and earning the dividend, and finally the year in which you want to sell it, that year maybe it is P7 or it is P8, take it divided by 1 plus KE. This is how we use the formula. Now look at the problem which I told you that time, where at the end of year 1 you are expecting dividend of 7 rupees, and at the end of year 2 it is 7.50, and at the end of year 2 you are selling it for rupees 220, where cost of equity or the expected rate of return of investors from the investment in equity shares is 15%. Now guys, for the first year D1 you need to bring it to the present worth, 7 rupees into 1 divided by 0.15, just now we did, which is 0.870, and your answer is 6.09. Similarly, D2, which is 7.50 into 1 divided by 1.15. This is for the first year. If you do equals for the first time, proceed for the next time, which is 0.756. 0.756. So 0.756 into 7.5 is equal to 5.67. Now, what is the worth of this share? 220 into 0.756, which is 166.32. So therefore your P0 will be 166.32 plus 5.67 plus 6.09, which is 178.8. This is how we find out the value of equity share if it is held for 2 years. As I told you, if it is held for more than 2 years or more than 3 years, your dividend calculation continues for whatever is the period. Similarly, the last year P7 or P8, we take it and then find out the present worth, and we add up all this. That is, whatever formula you saw in the horizontal way, it is solved in this way to keep it simple. Either you can do it like this: 7 divided by 1 plus 0.15, so which will be 7 divided by 1.15, which is 6.086 or equal to 6.09. Either that way or this way you will get the same answer. We feel this is simpler to solve, therefore we go this method. Otherwise, if you feel you forget formula or there is some issue with the understanding, you can write it in this manner also, to the power 2 plus this is sold at the end of year 2, therefore it will be 220 divided by to the power 2. Either this way or that way you will get the same answer. Hardly with few decimals you find the differences, but your method to solve remains same. Both will give you the same answer. We feel this is simpler for students to solve, therefore we go with this method. If you follow this also, there is nothing wrong in that. Marks will be given to you. Don't get confused. Formula ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೊಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೊಂದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. Both are same. Now I can show you a problem again. The next problem which is given there is your single period valuation model, and you have two period valuation model based problem, and lastly here is a problem for multi-period, more than 2 years it is there. Q provides the following particulars of expected dividend D1 to D5. For 5 years they have given you dividend 6 rupees, 5 rupees, 4.5, 4 rupees and 3 rupees respectively. And P5, this investment will be sold after 5 years, therefore it is P5, which is 120 KE equals 10%, find P0. As you can see here, the discounting factor, the expected rate of return by investors on the investment is 10%, and every year this is the dividend, the money income which they are expecting, and this is the worth of the share at which it will be sold after 5 years when they want to disinvestment. So for every year we have discounted and we have got the value, present worth of dividend. As I told you here, it continues, then it is D3, then D4, D5. Similarly it is calculated for 5 years, and at end of P5 what is the worth of it, and add up all the present worth. So this is your P0, which is 92.344. that is how we calculate. Then again you have a problem. An investor expects a dividend of rupees 5 per annum for 10 years, and the expected girls, if you can look at this problem and compare with this, you have some difference in this. Here every year the dividend what you are expecting from the company, the money income is changing. One year it is 5, next year 4.5, then it is 4, then it is 3. Every year it is changing, but here you see where investor is expecting dividend of rupees 5 per annum for 10 years. Every year he is expecting rupees 5. So there is constant dividend. There is no change in the money income what he is expecting. Maybe the company is following the constant dividend amount, and therefore it is same. It is not changing. And hence here is where you need to find out the present value annuity factor. Here we found out present value factor, but when the dividend amount is same, we need to find out the present value annuity factor. Please remember this in this problem. For 10 years, and the expected sale price at the end of 10th year is rupees 80. Find P0 if the expected rate of return is 12%. Again, this is multi-period holding problem where you have annuity adjustment. Now, as it is mentioned in the problem, this is sixth problem which I am showing you now. The investor is holding the investment for 10 years, where every year he is expecting 5 rupees. Every year he is expecting the same amount, the constant dividend amount, and expected rate of return from this is 12%, and it is for 10 years. Now this is not PVF as I showed you for the last problem. That is the difference which I am trying to tell you from that time. It is not the present value factor, instead it is present value annuity factor. How to find out this annuity factor for rupees 5 becomes the question now. Now the expected rate of return is 12%. So therefore it will be 1 divided by 1.12 for the first year, which is 0.892. Second year 0.797. Girls, please remember in the exam, don't expect log tables and other tables, present value factor tables to solve this. You need to do all these using calculators. So learn the method to solve this. Then third year it will be 0.711. Fourth year 0.635. Fifth year 0.567. Sixth year 0.506. Seventh year 0.452. Eighth year 0.403. Ninth year 0.360. And finally 10th year 0.321. So we have found out the present value discounting factor at 12% for each year from first year to 10th year. Now to find out the annuity factor, you need to add up all this discounting factor which you calculated from year 1 to 10th year. You need to add up, which comes to around 5.651. So 5 into 5.651 will be 28.255. So we got to know the value of dividends. Now we need to find out the value of share. At the end of 10th year, the share price is expected to be 80 rupees. So 80 rupees into, as you know, the discounting factor for the 10th year is 0.321. So 80 rupees into 0.321 will be 25.68, and therefore the present worth of your equity share, add up your money income plus your present worth of the share, 28.255, which will be 53.935. This is the present worth of the share. This is how we calculate or we find out the worth of any equity investment if dividends are in annuity. Nothing but if you are receiving the same amount for the holding period, equal amount of money in equal intervals of time. Now, similarly, you have one more problem here. What is P0 if the expected dividend per share is rupees 8? KE is 10%. Expected selling price at the end of the 5th year. If you look at the first sentence, you may feel that dividend per annum 8 rupees is for 1 year. No, it is for 5 years. The hint you are getting in the last sentence. So at the end of 5th year is rupees 120. Therefore, for all 5 years, the investors are receiving investment money of rupees 8 as dividend. Please remember, this is also the problem based on your annuity. You need to solve in the similar way we did the last problem. The next one which you have is like this. A company decides, okay girls, I think it is the next concept which I need to teach you. I'll stop here in this video. I'll continue in the next video to solve the next problem, and I hope that you have followed all concepts I have taught. Single period valuation, then two period valuation, then multi period we have learned, and then In case of your multi-period, if dividends are given in annuity, equal amount of an income in equal intervals of time, how to find out the present worth, all this I have taught in this video. I'll continue in the next video. If you have any doubt, please get back to me. Also, we want response for other videos which we have sent to you. We are not able to gauge you people whether you have grasped it or not. Please remember, no classes will be taken to you people. Directly you are appearing for the exam. If you don't approach us now, later it will be a problem for you as well as for us. Please respond to the videos. If you have any doubts, ask us. And if you're not able to grasp something through the class rep or directly, you can call us and ask. Thank you.